One of the most important things that we can experience in our lives and within ourselves is the ability to be deeply honest with ourselves, moment to moment, with who we are, with what we care about, and what we're focusing on. A big part of the power of the subconscious work that I share with us on this channel, that I talk about, that I focus on in my life and world, is about the practice of being deeply honest with myself and with the world around me, which for me is a reflection of the world within me. The way that I perceive us create and co-create with the reality that we live in is that as we place our focus on what is important to us, on what we believe and perceive as true, we shape what we magnetize to us and what we repel from us. And as such, in this world of seemingly infinite possibilities, we find ourselves in certain locations, connecting to certain people, having certain experiences that reinforce what we believe at our strongest level, whether it's consciously, but often subconsciously. Many of us have experienced patterns where it feels like the world is acting upon us. If you are watching this video, you are at a point where you have awareness to know that the way and the place that you place your focus is helping you guide what you are magnetizing in your life at any given moment. The reason this is important and the reason this is valuable is as you remember this to greater and greater degrees, you realize that you have a deep influence on your experience in life. Now, the point isn't necessarily to try and magnetize very specific experiences in your life, although you can. From my perspective, we are actually inbuilt with a natural roadmap, a natural blueprint that we can tune into and live should we choose. We can make augmentations to it along the way. But by and large, I have found that these blueprints tend to be effective maps towards living very satisfying lives. So it's not that we need to constantly figure out our life and what we need to or what we want to do. However, at the current moment, we have an opportunity to refine our discernment, to get anchored in to our trust, to be clear about our values, and to decide how we are choosing to interface with ourselves and our world at any given moment. The reason that this is so important is because the way that you do one thing is the way that you do many things. For those of us who want to influence perhaps great change in the world, our opportunity comes from how we live our day-to-day, moment-to-moment lives. This is actually a lesson that was brought to the forefront of my awareness. For a long time, I kept attempting to do very grandiose things in my life and in my world. But I kept coming back to this understanding that how I was doing the little things in my life were impacting the bigger things in my life. It's very much like how I've spoken before. Our life is like a fractal reality. Our life, the smaller patterns of our life, are informing the greater patterns and rhythms that we are living and drawing into our life. So if you want to see changes out here, they begin with the commitments you have inside. And I've heard people say sometimes, well, I make these changes or I'm not seeing the results. I make the changes, I'm not seeing the results. And something that is very important to understand is certain changes that have deep and lasting resonances in our lives are very much like the oak tree. The sunflower grows rapidly and quickly, but it comes for a season and then it dies. The oak tree takes its time to grow, and it is a long while before it is sturdy enough to hold not only its own weight, but to start bearing acorns. However, eventually, it becomes a mighty tree, one that can last generations. And in the similar way, it is important to observe your actions, your iterative actions, from the place of what kind of foundation you are creating. This is not a judgment between a sunflower or an oak tree. Both are quite beautiful. They just have different seasons and different levels of growth and different cycles. Being aware of the kind of cycle that you are currently stepping into can help you understand what you are experiencing. And so if you are expecting sunflower level results when you are growing an oak tree, this can help you realize, oh, I am actually dedicated on growing something of legacy. Or I am currently dedicated on this smaller cycle in which I will see faster growth, but it will also have faster dissolution. There's no right or wrong to that. There is just the difference in experience that you are having at the present moment. I share this with you as you step meaningfully into your newest cycle. What is emerging for you at this time? At the time of recording this, this is the eclipse in April 2024. And it is a time of reflection, of letting go, and of release. But whatever time you are watching this, there is going to be likely a similar cycle for you. A similar cycle where you are about to step onto a path of a certain renewal. So I'll share with you, in closing thoughts, a reflection that I received today, which is that no matter what I face in my life, it is important for me to apply my same values, even if it means that I might face pushback, or even if it means that something might dissolve as a result of me standing very clearly with what I know is my resonant value. And you see, when each of us does that, and roots in ourselves and makes choices that way, even in seemingly small ways, this is how we start changing the vibrational ripples of the world. Even the small actions matter. Everything at all times is being recorded on some level. We all are interconnected. What you do matters. What you don't do matters. So, with that reflection, thank you for taking the time to connect with yourself, to connect here with me. If you have enjoyed this, please feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe. During the time of filming this, there is a new flow-based container emerging. I imagine, even if you meet this video at a different time, please do feel free to check the description regardless, because there is going to very likely be a flow container or a flow-based opportunity for you to connect with at this time, should it call you. I have so enjoyed connecting with you today, and I look forward to our next connection. Bye for now.